U.S. Secretary of State, Trump wants peace, but Europe doesn't.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated that the world is entering a strange phase where America stands for peace, while many European countries appear to pursue confrontational policies. I want to make it clear that we have a president of peace, President Donald Trump, Rubio said at a White House dinner hosted by President Trump on May 19th, as quoted by Fox News. In fact, a cardinal I met just before the inauguration, Mass of Pope Leo XIV, told me how odd it is to see a US president pushing for peace while some in Europe keep talking about war. Rubio further remarked that the world is being turned upside down in the minds of many. He added, "President Trump wants peace, but Europe does not. Traditionally, it's the other way around." According to Rubio, President Trump is now focusing on ending armed conflicts in various regions, with a special emphasis on accelerating negotiations to resolve the war in Ukraine. Rubio also acknowledged that the United States is investing a significant portion of its budget in defense and national security. "We aim for a future where these funds can be redirected to civil needs, development, and economic reconstruction, not war," the US Secretary of State emphasized. Before a state dinner at the White House, US President Donald Trump held a nearly 2-hour phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump described the conversation as very good, emphasizing the positive spirit and attitude throughout the call. Russia and Ukraine will immediately begin negotiations toward a ceasefire and, more importantly, an end to the conflict. Let the process begin. President Trump wrote on Truth Social on May 19th. Trump also noted that Moscow expressed readiness to boost trade relations with Washington once the war ends. Russia wants to promote large-scale trade with the US when this catastrophic bloodbath is over. "And I fully agree," Trump stated. "This is a major opportunity for Russia to create millions of jobs and generate vast wealth. Their potential is unlimited." Similarly, Ukraine could also become a major beneficiary in trade through its national reconstruction. Meanwhile, the European Union is preparing to approve its 18th sanctions package against Russia, scheduled for May 21st, in response to President Putin's absence from direct peace talks with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Turkey on May 16th. President Zelensky's decision to attend the Istanbul meeting was a major gesture of goodwill, but President Putin did not show up. A new sanctions package is ready, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz posted on social platform X on May 16th. If passed, this would mark the EU's 18th round of sanctions on Russia. The 17th package was approved just days earlier on May 14th, according to European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen.
Ukrainian president calls for increased sanctions on Russia following prisoner exchange.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has emphasized that prisoner exchanges alone are not enough to achieve a true peace and called for increased pressure on Russia. "We are rallying partners to make this happen. It's clear that the time has come to increase pressure on Russia, not just to achieve specific outcomes, but to achieve everything that's necessary. Every day is being wasted. Each day the conflict continues. More lives are lost. New sanctions against Russia are essential," President Zelensky wrote on social media platform X on May 23rd, local time. Zelensky also confirmed that the ongoing prisoner exchange, based on a 1,000 for 1,000 agreement following negotiations in Istanbul, Turkey on May 16th, is underway. Today, 390 people have returned home, including both military personnel and civilians. Tomorrow and in the coming days, the next phases will continue. What matters most is that Ukraine is bringing its people back. "I want to thank everyone around the world contributing to this effort," Zelensky added. On the Russian side, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stated that Moscow will present a draft peace proposal to Ukraine once the prisoner exchange is completed. "As soon as the prisoner exchange is finalized, we will be ready to hand over this draft document to the Ukrainian side," Lavrov said at a press conference on May 23rd, as quoted by RT. According to Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Moscow is actively finalizing a draft document based on the points agreed upon during last week's direct negotiations between the Russian and Ukrainian delegations in Istanbul. The draft will include conditions for achieving a comprehensive, sustainable, and long-lasting peace agreement, Lavrov added. The direct negotiations between Russia and Ukraine resumed in Istanbul, Turkey, on May 16th. Although the nearly 2-hour-long peace talks did not result in a ceasefire agreement, both sides agreed to a large-scale prisoner exchange based on a 1,000 for 1,000 formula. They also reached a consensus on presenting detailed proposals regarding a potential ceasefire and continuing the negotiation process. According to TASS, Vladimir Medinsky, presidential aide and head of the Russian delegation, said that Moscow was satisfied with the outcome of the meeting. On the Ukrainian side, Defense Minister Rustem Umerov told the Kyiv Independent that the parties had discussed a potential high-level meeting between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin, and noted that further rounds of negotiations would be announced soon.